Hey, Bill.
Morning. Hey, Greg. How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, been better, but back at it. We're still fighting.
You joined us as we were discussing Mac Jones, and I wanted to ask you if you feel like he maybe at times is putting too much, and I guess this goes for anybody on this team, maybe is putting too much pressure on himself.
Well, it's the National Football League. It's a very competitive league, and so we're all under pressure every week, and that's the job. But yeah, I mean, Mac demands a lot of himself. He works hard. Football is really important to him. He puts a lot into it. But I mean, we all do. That's the NFL.
Bill, one of the things that you talked about headed into this game is Dallas's ability to get to the quarterback. I thought for the most part, you guys up front did a decent job of being able to slow those guys down and allowing the quarterbacks to have time to throw the football. What was your take on your pass protection, especially against the Dallas defense that can really get after it?
It was good at times. We had a couple breakdowns. We got picked inside, with some games. And, I mean, look, they have a good pass rushing group, and with the score what it was, they were able to, kind of tee off on a quarterback. But I thought we hung in there. I thought that it was, competitive. There's some things we need to definitely clean up on it, though, and nothing would help pass protection more than running the ball, just like we saw that last week. So, those two things go hand in hand.
Bill, what went into the decision to kick the field goal 4th and 1 at the 6 on your opening possession of the game?
Just go down there and get points. It's a 3-3 game, long way to go. Let's get on the board. Make sure it's positive points coming out of the drive.
Bill, you've been in this situation before. When you start to look at, you go down, you lose in a game like that, in a fashion like that, but you still want to learn from it, but you want to keep the guys in a mental position of, let's learn from it, but let's move past it. What's your process for doing that, especially this week heading into New Orleans?
No, I think it's exactly what you said. You hit it on the head. Learn from it and move on, and that's what we'll do. We'll learn from the things that happen in the game and move on.
Bill, we look at these things from the outside because we're not there every day. We're not on this team. So just looking at the offense, do you feel like there's enough talent around Mac Jones on this team to be winning these football games?
Yeah, I think we have pretty good talent on offense. We just, haven't been able to find a good, consistent groove with it.
Does that end up being? Just from a scheme perspective, or it's, you've?
No, I'd say it's more of a consistency thing of one breakdown, one or two breakdowns on each play with some other good things being done, but ultimately that one breakdown causes the play not to be successful. And I think once we get hitting on a more consistent basis, and can eliminate that that one problem or one technique or one fundamental thing that comes up on individual play, the results will be a lot better. But we haven't done a good enough job on that, and until we get there, it's just still obviously a problem.
Bill, when you talk to Mac in the game and you say you kind of understand that your quarterback has a lot of pressure on him, and sometimes you see guys that they try to do too much, which leads to bad decisions, and he had a couple of those in the game. What was your message to him during the game or after the game about that?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I just felt like at that point, there wasn't any point leaving him in the game at that point, so we just took him out.
Time for the Coach's Verdict, which is presented every week by Catches Law Group, New England's injury pros at catcheslaw.com. Catches is proud to be the official law firm of the New England Patriots.
Bill, 1-3 for the third consecutive year, 0-12 when the opponent scores over 24 points since 2021. Why should Patriots fans feel optimistic about the direction of this organization?
Yeah. Well, look, I'm just really concerned about doing the best job I can for our team, and I'll do that every week. That's what I can control. That's what I'm going to do. So that's what I'm going to focus on.
So, go ahead.
I was going to say, why have the results not followed? What would you say is the biggest reason why the team finds itself in this position today?
We just weren't able to play well enough. We played 3 games we turned the ball over and lost. 1 game we didn't turn the ball over and didn't get sacked and won. So I think we know what the formula is. We've just got to do a better job of it. And defensively in the kicking game, I mean, there are things there too that we need to improve on. We didn't really have a very good day in the kicking game, and defensively there are some things we could do better there too. So that's what we can do is keep working hard, keep fighting, and improve in the areas we need to improve in, and that's what we're going to try to do.
So you think you're close?
Well, I think that's what we're going to try to do every week. I don't know. We'll see on Sunday.
So, Bill, when you look at some of the ball security issues, do you make sure that, I know that when you see some of the throws and some of the situations, to just get Mac to understand sometimes the best play is to throw it away rather than put too much on yourself to try to make a play? And is that something that, he realizes and has to continue to learn as a young player in this league?
I think every quarterback, realizes that and knows that. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, just trying to make a play and then, regret it afterwards. But, every quarterback's thrown interceptions. Every quarterback's made bad decisions. So is every player and every coach that's ever played. So we just got to make more good ones and just find more consistency in our execution, especially offensively.
The Diesel Direct player of the game, Bill, is Pop Douglas. A little bit about what he gave you yesterday.
Yeah, Pop, continues to, show up with his speed and quickness, and, has the ability to, create some space, especially in man coverage. And, it's going to take on the punt return duties now. And so that's, hopefully we can get him started on that and get him started, meaning get the play, going, give him a chance to get going on it, and see if we can do his punt return. He had some success on that in college, and so he's improved a lot, since he's been here in terms of his, ball handling and tracking, and so hopefully we can get him going in the return game as well as offensively.
Bill, you had some key guys go down defensively yesterday. What's the optimism about as far as what their injuries could be looking at? Is this something that could be long-term, short-term, or?
I think it's always hard to tell, right? Right when something happens, you got a lot of things going on. In the next day or two after, we come back, do whatever we do with those injuries, whether it's x-rays, MRIs, scans, whatever it happens to be, and just get more information. It's more definitive. So, rather than guess about where things are or aren't right now, that's why medically they do all those, tests to get more detail, more information to, figure out exactly what the situation is. So that's always part of the Monday, Tuesday. Sometimes it go longer than that, but part of the evaluation to see exactly what we're talking about here. So, I don't want to guess and speculate on it now. We'll wait till we get a little more information and go from there.
All right, Bill. Thank you for taking the time, and we will talk to you again next week.
Okay, great. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
All right. There he is, Bill Belichick, head coach of the New England Patriots on a Patriots Monday.